Good morning. Welcome to the vlog. Today's vlog is going to be really exciting because I'm going to the Lido today. I'm going to the pool. And I am gonna spend the day reading. I'm currently reading Out on a Limb by Hannah Bonam Young. I love this book. I am having such a good time. Like literally from page 1, I have been hooked. I have about 2.5 hours left of the book, so I'm gonna finish that today. As I said, I'm going to the Lido, so I think I'm gonna try to save some of the book for when I am at the Lido because this is such a fun book. Just want like good vibes when I'm at the pool. My next read after this is The Good Parts. It just came out yesterday and I've had this book on my TBR for so long. Like since the book was announced, like a lot of people were reading arcs and I added it to my TBR and I have been counting down the days for this release. This book has been marketed for people who apparently love normal people in one day and the eternal sunshine of the spotless mind, which I all love. I'm really excited about this book, but I don't think it's like a poolside book kind of vibe. I feel like that's more emotional and sad, whereas this one that I'm reading right now, Out on a Limb, is the perfect pool/beach read. Today I'm just gonna have like a super fun reading day, and that's what this vlog is going to be about. Today we're just gonna read and chill and go to the pool and have an amazing, perfect summer day. Oh my god! He called her honey! He called her honey! Dude, I can't with this book! I am on chapter 19. Something happens in chapter 19 that is so funny. Extra towel. Just reviewing my list. Sunscreen check, sunglasses check, undies check. My Kobo is there. You know what? Let me already put my Kobo. I mean, I'm still gonna use it, but another reason I love this bag so much is my Kobo fits in the front pocket. Balm lip tints check, towels check. Good to go. Good morning, friends. It's been a little while for me, but no time at all for you. The last time I vlogged was on Wednesday, which was the pool day. It's now Sunday. Had a crazy couple of days. On Thursday, I was editing my previous vlog for pretty much the whole day. And then Friday, I had like the first half of the day spent on life admin, like job applications, replying to emails, all that kind of jazz. And then in the afternoon, I was on FaceTime with my best friend. She lives in the Philippines. We were on FaceTime for about 3 hours. She's not on social media. So when we catch up, we need to catch up. And then for the rest of the day, I was filming for short form. And then yesterday, Saturday, was my cat's birthday. Tala turned 4 yesterday. So we had a little celebration with our super close friends. Just a crazy busy couple of days, but it's Sunday now. I can chill today. I have no plans today aside from reading. Today, for real, I am just going to read. I'm so excited. I feel like I need it so bad. I'm actually currently reading The Good Parts. Ooh, before we talk about The Good Parts, we need to talk about Out on a Limb because I was reading that. The last time you saw me, like on Wednesday, I was reading that and I finished it at the pool and oh my god, guys, I love that book so much. I loved it so much. I rated it 5 stars. It's such a fun, wholesome, cute book. I enjoyed it so much, but when I say cute, it's not in a shallow way. This book is really mature. They're like in their late 20s. If I remember correctly, she's 29 and he's 30. So they're like, you know, my age. And I just really love this book. I love the dialogue. I love the characters. Like literally not a single character was a miss for me. I loved all of them, even the side characters at the end of the book. Like everything was going so well in the book. I'm just like having so much fun. And then I was so scared of something bad happening or like a third act breakup or just anything bad happening after the climax or like after everything has been going well. And don't get me wrong, I do believe that conflict is most of the time necessary for these books, but for this story, it didn't feel like a conflict was necessary and there was no big conflict. It was just like kind of smooth sailing throughout, and I just really, really love that. Like, it's a total feel good book without it being cringy or shallow. I just loved it. From page 1 till the epilogue till the very last page, I had so much fun, and I rated Out on a Limb 5 stars. Now we can get to what I'm actually reading now. I'm reading The Good Parts. This came out recently, I think the 28th of July. So if you didn't know this about me, I love a decades spanning story. So think Love, Rosie, The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, Normal People, One Day. I love these kinds of stories. And when this was being marketed, or when people are talking about this was kind of compared a lot to those kinds of stories, those kinds of books. I think particularly Normal People, but also this book is heavily compared to The Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. And that's pretty much the premise of this book. In this universe, they have a memory erasing pill, and our FMC decides to take this memory erasing pill. So that's as much as I knew about this book, that, you know, she erased her past. She erased their past, their history together. So something really bad must have happened. 41% through this book, like almost halfway through, and I'm really enjoying this so far. I like the writing a lot, but what I like the most is the way this story is being structured. So at the moment, the way, and I don't know if this is gonna last throughout the book, right? It might change, but so far, the structure is past and present, like dual timeline, past and present parallels. The past is in her point of view, and the present is in his point of view, which is, I just find genius. I find the change in POVs and the dual timelines really smooth, and it's in every chapter as well. It's not like 3 chapters of past, 3 chapters of present. The current chapter would be in the past, the next chapter is in the present, and it alternates like that. And I find that that's just a smooth way of telling this story, and I'm really, really enjoying it. I hope I cry. I hope this book breaks me, because I have not been broken yet this year. I want to be destroyed. This is one of my favorite things about the Kobo, is you can check your reading stats. I have 3 hours left. I can definitely finish this today, and that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna finish this book today. I've yapped enough. Let's get to reading. Guys, this book is actually going to destroy me. I am at the part, so as I said, the story is told in parallels, right? Like dual timeline. And I am currently reading their past, and they are so in love. Like, these two people are so crazy in love. It's this really big, intense love. And knowing that it doesn't end well for them, well, I don't know the ending yet, but obviously we know that she took a memory erasing pill, and we know that she wanted to forget about them, right? I'm just thinking, like, how do these two people who are so crazy in love with each other end up to the point of one of them wanting to forget the other? Like, how do you fall out of love, or how do you I just know it's gonna break me. I know it's gonna break me, and I want it to. I'm just like, oh my god, this is gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt so good though. I do want to be in pain. I do want it to hurt, but still, I don't know. You don't have to believe in yourself right now, because I can do that for the both of us until you're ready. I think I'm gonna be sick. He loves her so much. He loves her so, they love each other so much. No! The parallels are so fucking crazy! I love you now for everything you were, are, and will be. And we know, right? We know that she takes the memory erasing pill, and he's saying in the past that I love you now for everything you were, are, and will be. Even the version of her that took the memory erasing. No. Oh my god. No, I'm gonna be sick. I'm actually gonna be sick. No. Okay. Being with Landon felt like that. Even half asleep, her body would always know it was home. I kind of have this itch to go out. No. Do I want to go out and grab like a little drinky drink? I don't know if I should just embrace being home and embrace having like a super nice, just go off. Yeah, just go off. You know what? Sometimes I have this itch to go out, but then I do and I regret it because it's like either, I don't know, like too many people or whatever, but I don't know. It's 28 degrees outside. You know what? We're gonna flip a coin. If it's heads, I'm gonna stay at home. And if it's tails, I'm gonna go outside. Hey Google, flip a coin.
It's heads.
Heads means stay home. Okay, I'm cool with that. Google has spoken. We're staying home. So guess what? I did decide to go out after all. I just couldn't focus at home. Like I was really feeling some sort of itch. If I hate this, if I end up regretting it, then it's fine. But at least I scratched the itch. So the best thing about this is I'm not spending any money. I actually have some rewards from this matcha place. And so my drink is gonna be for free.
Once in a while I dream. Once in a while I think of you. I reminisce on days gone by when you.
Hi friends, it's been a couple of days since I finished The Good Parts. I actually already have a physical copy right here. I actually already filmed this whole review, thoughts about the book the next day after I finished this book, but the audio on that is so messed up, so I'm having to redo it all over again, but it's fine. It's better to talk about it now that I have a physical copy. So as you probably may have guessed, I absolutely love this book. I rated The Good Parts 5 stars. It's an incredibly beautiful book. I absolutely loved the writing. I loved everything about this book. Everything that I said in the beginning about all the things that I loved, especially the parallels between past and present, the past being in her POV and the present being in his POV. I just think that format or that structure of storytelling is absolutely brilliant. You may have seen when I reviewed main characters. Oh my god, it's so crazy because these books, I see them all the time in people's TBRs and I feel like they're not compared. I don't see people comparing them, but I see them in the same TBRs, like people want to read both of them, and I feel like they have some like similarities in terms of how they're marketed. Obviously, they're in the same genre. They kind of have the same vibes. Like both of these books are marketed towards fans of one day, normal people, that kind of storytelling, those kinds of books, and I can totally see that they both have those vibes. But as you may know, if you follow me on Instagram and TikTok, I hated main characters, whereas I loved The Good Parts. So what worked for me for The Good Parts? I mean, firstly, what worked for me was the structure of the writing. As I said, I found it so seamless, whereas with main characters, I found it so clunky, but we'll talk about main characters later. The focus is The Good Parts. So Rose and Landon, our main characters, have a very intense, epic love story. Like this is why it's compared a lot to One Day and Normal People. I would also say, like if you've read The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, feel like that kind of intense love is very similar to what we have here. I'm trying to think of other couples, like if you've read Into the Blue as well. Like I love those kinds of intense love stories, and that's exactly what Rose and Landon have. So we are following the story of these two people who fall in love like freshman year of college. They build a life together, they get married. That's the life that we follow, and we see their relationship evolve. Like how do these people who have such intense intense love for each other. They love each other so incredibly much. How do they get to a point where Rose would want to forget everything about them? She takes this memory erasing pill to forget him, their life. This is not a story of like, oh, they meet freshman year and then they can't be together because of miscommunication and all that kind of stuff. No, this is a marriage in crisis book. I just love the way this was executed. I saw a review that said, oh, I'm scared that I would have already read something like this before, that this book is not original. Trust me when I say this book is original on its own, even though it's not trying to do anything crazy different. This is when I'm gonna start bringing up main characters, just because I feel like they have the same vibes. They're marketed exactly the same way, but their main characters just didn't hit for me. And this one absolutely did. I think main characters tried to do something different. So main characters is a book where the story is told in the perspective of everyone but the main characters. So literally think someone on the bus with the MMC or someone in a coffee shop who saw them. So that's kind of the premise of main characters. Like everyone around them is telling this story, but I felt like they weren't telling a story. They're giving us observations about these characters and it didn't quite land. Also for me personally, so this book is based in London. I'm in London. When I first heard about this book, I thought the concept was cool. I was like, oh, interesting, never been done before. Let me try and read it. But as I was reading it, all I kept thinking about was no one cares. No one in London cares to pay attention to you. No one in London cares to pay attention to these two people. So that's my first gripe with this book. I just couldn't take myself out of it. And the second one is, since the story is told in the perspective of a different person each time, I felt like we were reintroduced to these characters over and over and over again. Especially Seb, well, both of them, but like with Seb, with the MMC, oh my god, one person would see them and this person would be like, oh, there's this tall guy, dark hair, there's this tall, dark, and handsome guy. Like every time there's a new POV, we are told this physical appearance description over and over again. It happens multiple times. It's the same with Clara. Oh, here goes this blonde girl. Like, I get it. I get what they look like. And so the book just really felt like descriptions and descriptions over and over again, and observations and observations of everyone around them over and over again. But you don't really get to know these people. And so this is what I mean about like, we don't need to do something different if one formula works. Like this formula works, one day works, normal people works, you know, that kind of storytelling. Whereas this one, I feel like this book would have been so much better if it had just not done this POV situation. I just needed to rant about main characters. Also, another thing that I mentioned on my review of main characters is like, you should have included timelines. Like, I don't know when this is happening. I don't know what we're following now. I'm kind of lost in the story because we don't have any timelines. But the good parts actually doesn't have any timelines, but it's so clear to you where you're at that point in their lives. It's just incredible writing. I feel like this is honestly quite genius. Like, I just love every single thing about this. I love the ending. I got exactly what I wanted out of this book. Also, actually, another book that I would compare this to, Into the Blue. So I also loved Into the Blue, but I rated Into the Blue 4.75, 4.5 stars, exactly because of the ending. Like, these books have very similar vibes, but something about the ending of Into the Blue didn't quite land with me. Like, I felt like I didn't get what I wanted out of the ending from this book. Like, I didn't cry, whereas the good parts made me cry. I love a book that makes me cry, and also just the writing is so beautiful. I highlighted so many parts. Like, even as I started the book, I was already highlighting so many parts. This is definitely one of my favorite books of the year. It's also like a pretty small book, like if you compare it to Into the Blue main characters. So it's a thin book. I think I read this in about 5 hours. Like, I think the total reading time of the book is about 5 hours, just a little over 5. I don't even think this was 6 hours. So it's a short book, but it packs a punch. Like, this story didn't need to be longer than this. That's another thing about Into the Blue, actually. I thought it was a little too long. This one, 331 pages. So this is really not a huge book. This is a small book. Like, you get straight to the point. You get exactly what you needed. There are no filler pages. There's no fluff. It's just giving you exactly what you need out of this story. And I really admire this kind of writing. And this is a debut, which is incredible. 10 out of 10. By the way, I also got a copy of Out on a Limb. I got this on Vinted I shouldn't have gotten it on Vinted. It was more expensive for me to get this on Vinted than buying it at the works. But anyway, I also got a copy of Out of the Woods. This one was worth it. It has the sprayed edge and you can't find this sprayed edge anymore. Also finished Out of the Woods. It was okay. I didn't love it as much as I thought I would. I didn't love it as much as Out on a Limb. I rated this, I think, 3 stars, 3.5 stars. But anyway, I still wanted to own a copy. Also, as I was editing this, because I'm already in the process of editing this video that you're watching now, and while editing, it's so crazy to me how different my reactions are while I'm reading Out on a Limb and the good parts. Like at the beginning of this video, I'm like laughing out loud, living my life, having such a good time with Out on a Limb, and then I get to the good parts and I'm just crying, miserable, and in despair. But yeah, so a good balance between these two books during that week that I read them. That is everything for this vlog. I can't believe we ended up talking about like 4 books, actually 5 books. I didn't mean to, but it ended up happening. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me and reading with me, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!